It's a cheesy rug. I mean, it's been in my office for years. It's got to go. Besides, every time I look at it, I think of Bill.
Why'd y'all have a night of magic on it or something? Green's nice.
Windows on the south side would be great, Renee, but I gotta get down there and find the bearing wall, because you knock that down, you collapse the roof.
Hey, Trish.
Can I come in?
Yeah, sure, come on in. This is Renee Jackson. This is our neighbor, Trish.
Hi.
Hi. I need to talk with you all, probably in private.
I can leave.
Oh, this is my best friend. It's all right. What's up?
Well, it's Rick Bowman across the street. We've just found out he's a felon.
What?
He sexually molested a child.
Oh, you're kidding.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Some people said he was fondling little girls. I heard it was little boys, but...
No way.
Has Davis ever been over there?
I am telling you, it's not true. Rick's a great guy. They moved in before you did. What, 4 years ago?
5.
Who told you this?
Carolyn?
Well, Carolyn is always talking about the neighbors.
Collier.
Well, she is, Mary Elizabeth. You know it.
Well, what if it's true?
It's not true.
May I ask how Carolyn found out about this?
Oh, Rick and his wife are renting the house across the street, and now they want to buy. And Carolyn's a realtor representing the seller, so she had to do a routine check of the neighborhood. And...
Why?
It's the law. The seller has to disclose if there's a sex offender in the neighborhood. She's just protecting her client.
Well, Carolyn would sell the eyes out of her mother's head if it would jack up the price.
Collier, stop it.
Doesn't this bother you?
You're damn right it bothers me. I'm telling you, I know this guy. And whatever Carolyn says he did, well, trust me, he didn't do it.
Well, honey, wouldn't you want to know it if he did?
Why don't you just go to the police and find out? This information is available to the public.
Look, I know you all are his friends, and believe me, I am just sick about this, but... Well, Mike has written a little petition at his office, and we want him to move.
Can we do that?
Well, you can sign anything you want, but legally he has to violate his probation before you can take any action, assuming he's still on probation.
Well, I'll just leave this here, and you can sign it later. Mary Elizabeth, this is a great neighborhood. I don't want it to change. We need to decide what we're going to do.
Nothing. We do nothing.
Look, maybe you don't care about your kids, Collier, but I am a single parent with a 4-year-old little girl at home, and I will be damned if I'm going to raise her next door to a pedophile.
Trish. Trish.
Hey, Trish. Emmy.
Rick.
Any day now, I will hear you say goodbye, my love, and you'll be on your way. In my wild, beautiful world, you will have flown. It isn't now. I'll be all alone.
A foot doctor?
No, that's a podiatrist.
A pedophile is something different altogether.
It's a creep who has sex with children. Creep.
Now, you know how much we love you both.
And you know you can tell us anything, right?
Please don't ask me what I think you're going to ask me.
What? Ask what?
They want to know if Mr. Bowman ever touched you or anything.
No, how can you ask me that?
Well, you remember that time that you went home with him early from the Sunday school picnic and he kept you at his house?
Yeah, only because it rained and you guys weren't home yet. I mean, Mrs. Bowman made popcorn and I watched a movie with Mr. Bowman. But nothing happened, Mom. I just fell asleep on the couch.
Well, what about you, Cal?
Don't you think I would have said something?
Well, just for now, just stay away from him, okay?
What if he says, like, hi or something?
If you stay away, he won't.
Well, he's always out in his yard.
Use the back door.
That's it?
That's it.
It's just all too weird.
To think I was nervous telling him about the birds and the bees. I need a beer.
Do you think we ought to sign this?
I think we ought to drop a bomb on the world. You want one?
No. Well, yeah. Give me one.
Make up your mind, Mary Elizabeth.
That's what I'm trying to do. Do you know that we're the only two people on the block who haven't signed this yet?
I bet Rick and Julie haven't.
Bet they would if the shoe was on the other foot. This is our job here, to protect Davis and Kelly.
Rick's not going to go out on the street and tackle him.
You don't know that. We thought he was just a Sunday school teacher who loved kids. Turns out he's a Sunday school teacher who just loves kids.
We don't even know if it's true. Carolyn said he fondled little girls. Trish said he fondled little boys.
Well, I talked to Mike. He said Rick was arrested down in Mobile for exposing himself in front of a daycare center.
Now, what the hell does he know? And what are you doing talking to Mike about all this?
He called me.
Rick's my friend.
I know it.
But I gotta tell you, when Davis was telling me about falling asleep with him on the couch, there was a moment that I thought about going over there and killing him anyway. I hate this. I really hate it. But I'm going down to the police station to find out. Damn. What do you think about all this?
For the first time in a long time, I'm glad I don't have children. That's what I think.
Cop out.
Cop out. I want 3 windows here instead of 1, and light, just light everywhere, and furniture that doesn't groan when I sit in it, and new carpeting, of course. I think this is the ugliest rug I have ever seen.
I picked out that rug.
Mama.
Hi, Sarah.
Collier. So what's wrong with this rug, Renee?
It's old, and I want to replace it.
I'm old, too. You gonna replace me?
Of course not. I just thought a coat of paint would freshen up this place.
Well, some of this paint's been on these walls for years. Paint your father and I put on all by ourselves. Oh, but change is good. You do what you want. Collier, you coming to lunch with us?
No, thanks, Sarah. I gotta file these building permits.
You need building permits for paint?
I want to knock out part of this wall and put in a window. Mama, sometimes it gets so dark in here, I feel like I'm in prison.
Find anything?
Still searching. It's a large database.
My wife has invited the entire neighborhood over to the house for a meeting tonight. I sure hope you don't find anything. I'd like to tell them to forget about all this.
Well, I'm afraid that's not the case. According to this, Mr. Bowman was arrested.
He was?
He was.
What exactly for?
Well, in 1992, Mr. Bowman was convicted of sexually molesting an 8-year-old girl. It's a Class C felony. He was sentenced to 8 years in prison. Prior to that, he was arrested for indecent exposure in a public place. That wasn't a conviction.
Anything else?
No, probation's usual. Can't live within 1,000 feet of a public school or be left alone with a child unsupervised. He also has to report to the local neighborhood and the sheriff whenever he changes his residence.
If he didn't when he moved in, does that mean he violated his probation?
When did he move in?
5 years ago?
And he didn't violate. Community Notification Act didn't come into effect in Alabama until 1995. Want me to print you out a copy? That's sound.
Is it true these guys never get any better?
Listen. Now, if you're asking me as a father of 3, I'd have to say hell no. If you're asking me as a cop who studied this crap, statistically, I'd have to give the guy a shot, some of them, rehabilitate. That said, I wouldn't want one in my neighborhood.
So what you're saying is we should lock our kids in their rooms until they're 40.
Now, there are some things a parent can do to protect their child. If you want, I'd be happy to come and speak to your neighbors tonight.
That might not be a bad idea.
2 out of 3, Mary Elizabeth? 2 out of 3, and don't mess up this time, Renee. It's called keep away because you're supposed to keep the ball away from them. It's just a ball. Just a ball? Johnny caught it at last year's World Series. Sandy Koufax touched it. Who's she? Unbelievable.
This ball is worth 2 million clams if it's worth a nickel. Man, I'd kill for some fried clams right now. You got a candy bar, Sim? We just had lunch. It's my thyroid, okay? Let's just play, okay?
Okay, Renee. Throw it high this time. Teresa, I'm home. Come on in, Renee. The coast is clear.
Looks like you can kiss that ball goodbye, Brian. You know Johnny's gonna kill you once he finds out.
He's not gonna find out, because we're gonna get it back before he gets home. How come we ran away from that lady? Because she's a murderer, Renee. Her name is Violet Crumb, and 5 years ago, she had a nervous breakdown, killed her kid.
Probably with that hose she was holding. Chopped his head off. Got anything else to eat in this house with Brian?
We almost got killed, and all you want to do is eat?
I'm having feelings, okay?
Look in the kitchen, peanut breath. Don't eat us out of house and home. So, you guys are making this up, right?
No, really, Renee. Every night, her son's ghost comes back without his head and plays on the swings.
And you can hear him screaming the same screams he screamed when she cut off his head.
Who told you all this?
Everybody knows about it.
Well, I don't believe a word of it. She didn't scare me a bit.
She didn't? She didn't.
Good. Then you can go back and get that ball.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, but go at night. That way she can't see you chop your head off.
Well, I never thought I'd live to see the day when I was be serving chips and dip to the Birmingham sex crime unit.
Wish you hadn't done this, Mary Elizabeth.
There's drinks and chips and stuff here if anybody wants some.
So when you and Collie are going to sign the petition?
Well, Carolyn, I'm not sure that it's the right thing to do.
Why?
Well, I was talking to my friend Renee, who's a lawyer, and she said that since Rick served his time, that he really has the right to live anywhere he wants.
Oh, great. It's time to play Let's Protect the Pervert, right? Come on, what about our rights?
Well, I'm not sure we have any legally.
Yeah, but if that snake buys that house, he won't have to disclose he's a pervert because he won't be changing his residence.
But we'll know.
Well, so what? He'll still be free to diddle anybody in a diaper. Oh, you know what? Just give me back the petition, Mary Elizabeth, okay?
Listen to this, everybody. Listen to this. Detective Dickerson just asked me if I had talked to my boys about sexual molestation. With all due respect, Detective, the twins are only 7 years old.
There are ways to talk to children about things like this appropriately.
You have a 4-year-old. How you planning on telling her that Bowman raped a little girl? Appropriately, of course.
Wait, I don't think he raped her. I heard there wasn't penetration.
Oh, and that makes it okay?
No, I didn't say that.
Well, what if he only had her undressed and just watched? You'd be comfortable with that?
Or if he just fondled her?
Or had her fondle him. How'd you feel about that?
I'd want him dead.
Oh, well, there you have it.
Well, looks like just the right time for the Reynolds to show up.
I told you it's turned into a lynch mob, Mary Elizabeth.
Coming!
Come on, you can't bombard them with all this stuff.
What are you doing here?
I had Grandma bring me home early.
What'd you do, sneak in the back door?
That's what you guys told us to do.
Go upstairs right now.
This is interesting.
Now. Go.
Perversion. It is a perversion. And there's no...
That's right. Davis upstairs. Upstairs.
Go, because he's going to do it again.
Rick.
Hello, Mary Elizabeth. May I come in? I know what this is, Mary Elizabeth. Please, let me come in.
I just wish you could have told me and Collier about this.
You're good friends. If people found out you knew about this before, you'd only get hurt. Julie and I wanted to protect you.
She knows about this?
Of course.
Rick?
Collier. I want to talk to everyone. Please.
And notified if somebody like that moves into the neighborhood. Exactly. Anytime that happens,
Exactly.
Well,
We haven't met. I'm Rick Bowman.
Detective Dickerson.
Sure, y'all must have a lot of questions.
Come on, Carolyn, let's go home.
Might be helpful to all of you if you heard what the man had to say.
I think we know all we need to know.
Oh, do you, Mike? I haven't reoffended since I was released from prison 5 years ago. I underwent treatment while I was incarcerated and was paroled early on the condition that I'd be on probation for 10 years and continue therapy once a week. I also take medication that reduces any and all sexual desire. Now, that's quite a price to pay for a married man. I don't expect any of you to forgive me or even understand what I've done. I just want you to see this differently.
Give me one good reason why.
Because I'm not going to move. Now, who wants to go first?
You don't mess around with little boys, do you?
It was never about a little boy or a little girl. It was more about their vulnerability.
What?
Most child victims lack attention at home. See, they feel lonely.
Are you saying that little girl asked for it?
No, I'm not saying that.
You are one sick puppy, you know that?
You disgust me.
Well, I think I should go. I think the more you think about this, the more questions you're going to have, so I want you to know that my door is always open.
I know none of you want to hear this, but the fact that Rick came forward and made himself available to all of you speaks well for him. Statistically, that act in and of itself is a sign of rehabilitation.
What in the name of James Jackson do you think you're doing?
What seems to be the problem this time, Mr. Brinkman?
As usual. You?
Me? When have I ever been a bump in your road?
Look within, Miss Jackson. Last year, it was all I could do to get you to speak at a Cultural Affairs tribute to your father.
If you recall, I was the one who had to call the caterers, rent the sound system, decorate the hall, compile my father's bio for the papers, and write my speech. I shudder to think what you've got up your sleeve this time.
Do you realize they don't even make this kind of paneling anymore?
So?
So you can't replace it.
How did you find out what I was going to do?
Your permit wended its way across my desk. If it hadn't, I would have never been able to prevent you from nearly destroying the very fabric of Birmingham and the 60s civil rights movement.
I'm just renovating my office.
For all we know, Martin Luther King may very well have turned on this light. And the illumination that followed may very well have triggered his dream.
He had his dream in Washington.
Regardless, I have filed a petition with the Birmingham Historical Society in hopes of establishing this office as a landmark.
A landmark?
Yes, and until their determination, you may not alter one single square inch of this property, not one thread of this time capsule upholstery, not one weave of this precious, oh my, rug.
I applaud your passion, Mr. Brinkman, but in this instance, you're a horse's ass, and there's nothing you can do.
Just watch. I have an appointment in 15 minutes with Judge Leonard, where I will file with pride for a temporary injunction. I have the paint chip, Your Honor. Aubergine.
Aubergine?
Eggplant. James Jackson would be turning over in his grave if he knew that his thankless, self-absorbed daughter was dismissing the hugeness of his career for the smallness of a paint job.
Ron, this is absurd.
Unless you have something to argue other than color palettes, Mr. Brinkman, I'm dismissing your request.
I want James Jackson's office designated as an official landmark, which means Miss Jackson will have to cease in her plan to convert it to a showroom for Martha Stewart.
And you have a problem with that?
Oh, yes, I do, Your Honor. My office hasn't been painted in decades. The furniture is threadbare.
She has got contractors circling that building like buzzards, ready to tear the flesh off of some poor dying animal.
He has no right.
She is tearing down walls, Your Honor, walls! Walls! Which, if they could speak history, Your Honor.
It's my office.
Do you own the building?
No.
Did you get permission from the landlord?
He wants me to do it. It increases the value of his property.
No.
Mr. Brinkman is correct, Miss Jackson.
Thank you.
Modifications on a property initiated by anyone other than the owner of said real estate must be granted in writing by the owner of aforementioned property. So, you have 2 days to get a note from Mommy, and you, sir, have 2 days to prove that the Jackson office meets the criteria for landmark status. That is criteria established by the Historical Society, Mr. Brinkman, not you.
said you weren't afraid. I was talking about old Mrs. Crumb, not Killer Owls. I'm not going in there alone, Emmy. Fine, just get this over with. I have to get home. Mom and I are taking Daddy's dinner at the office. We can't turn back now. Over there. That's where the ball was. What's that? The wind, I think. Wind doesn't squeak, Emmy!
Do you smile to tempt the lover, Mona Lisa? Or is this your way to hide a broken heart? In here, honey.
Ooh, we thought we'd bring you some supper, Mr. Da Vinci.
Hey, where's Daddy's favorite smile?
Oh, she and me got caught in the storm. Been frightened ever since. Mine came up so fast. Whoa! That was a good one.
I hate it.
It's okay. Sir, in the middle drawer of my desk, there's some candles and a flashlight. It's only God's angels bowling, honey. Come on, let's all cuddle up. I got an idea. Why don't we have a picnic by candlelight?
It's only the wind, honey.
Emmy says it's ghosts breaking out of the cemetery.
There's no such thing as ghosts, Renee.
Only angels, like your daddy said.
Nothing to be afraid of, baby. See? Even Mona Lisa smiles in the dark. Mona Lisa.
Called Innocent Baby, isn't it the best?
What I want to know is why you were playing with makeup and I'm mopping the floor.
I'm not playing, Mom. I have a date.
Watch out here. This floor is wet. You're going to break your leg again.
We saw Mr. Bowman naked, Mom.
That is so gross.
He took his clothes off in front of us.
What?
I'm moving away. I don't want to live here anymore.
Well, can I have your room?
Just tell me exactly what happened.
He took his clothes off, but not exactly in front of us. He was standing in front of his window.
No. He was naked and walking past the window, but he stopped and looked at us.
We were
standing
walking
in
by
front of
his house.
Just tell me one thing. Did you see Rick naked?
Yes. Where are you going?
Hi, Rick.
Oh, you startled me.
Julie let me in. You got a nursery in progress going here.
I'm gonna be a daddy.
Well, congratulations. I didn't know.
Oh, we wanted to tell you, but Julie insisted on holding the news till the second trimester. Superstition.
I don't know how else to ask you this, but just to go right out and ask you. Davis said he saw you a few minutes ago, and
I'm going to the store, honey. You need anything?
I didn't know about the baby. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. I was going to tell you, but, is something wrong?
Mary Elizabeth was just about to ask a question. Something to do with Davis? We don't have any secrets.
A few minutes ago, Davis said that he and his friend Jack saw you in front of the window and that you didn't have any clothes on.
A few minutes ago, I was exercising on my treadmill, which is upstairs in my bedroom. I don't wear a sweatshirt when I exercise, but I do wear sweatpants. I was on my way to take a shower. Mary Elizabeth, my hair is still wet.
Would you like to go upstairs and see if there's a treadmill?
No. So if you were taking that drug that you were talking about, how'd y'all get pregnant?
Well, he stopped taking them until I got pregnant, and then he started taking them again.
Honey, it's okay.
No, it isn't. I thought you were a friend, M.E.
I am, Juliet.
It's not an easy time.
I gotta ask you one more thing. Do you still have sexual thoughts about kids? I know you don't act on them, but do you have them?
No, I do not.
Well, you guys told me to tell you if I saw anything weird.
But you went over there. We told you not to, and you deliberately disobeyed us.
Just because you guys don't have the guts to do anything about it.
What?
What if he did touch me when I fell asleep over there, and I just can't remember?
Don't talk that way.
What if it's true, Dad? All the other neighbors want to burn down his house, but you guys aren't doing squat. Don't you care about me?
Mom, Dad, it's the police.
The police?
Now what?
Dad, wait. Dad.
Davis, what's going on?
Get out here!
Man.
Talk fast.
I said get out here!
I'm telling you, if Jack said that Rick took his clothes off in front of the window...
Then Rick took his clothes off in front of the window. Why didn't you call us?
I was gonna call you.
But when?
After dinner? She's gonna call you after dinner?
Well, you should have called immediately.
I'm sorry, all right?
Sorry doesn't cut it.
Hey, come on now.
Look, I talked to Rick. He had an answer for everything.
Oh, well, what do you expect him to say?
I should have called, all right? But I was worried about Davis. Isn't that what this is all about anyway? Our kids?
Mom.
You all right, son?
They can go as soon as you sign these.
Considering the guy paraded around naked in front of his window, he's lucky they only painted his precious car.
That ain't why they did this. Any of y'all know Betsy McDonald?
Jim and Connie's daughter.
Yeah, well, Betsy told the boys that she and 3 of her friends went over to Rick's last summer. Rick invited them over for a pool party.
She's 11 years old.
Oh, my God. Why didn't she say something before?
Mr. Bowman told them to keep it a secret.
He said that if anybody found out, they'd all want to come over and swim.
What are you waiting for? Arrest him.
No, we're gonna follow procedure so all of this sticks. Now, Betsy's parents is on the way over. We're gonna talk to the probation officer.
But what if he fondles an entire elementary school district in the meantime?
Are you boys sure this is true?
Oh, if it's true. I'm so sick and tired of hearing that. What do you two want? Photographs?
You still have that petition? Collier?
Everybody's been saying something different than me, and I've decided that the only thing matters is the truth. It wasn't a ghost that moved the swing. It was the wind. Then what were all those screams? I'm not sure, but I do know they weren't ghosts. My daddy says there's no such thing. Then he's never been to Violet Crumb's house. After Johnny kills me, promise me that you and Collier will steal my body from the funeral home. I want to be buried here at Port Dixie. He's not going to kill you, Emmy. He gets home tonight, and the first thing he does when he gets home is touch a Sandy Koufax ball for luck. Why don't we just go ask Miss Crumb for the ball? Are you crazy? Maybe if we bring her a present, she won't kill us. Yeah, right, Renee. Let's just cut off a frog's head and give her that. I was thinking maybe we could pick some wildflowers. Even mean people like flowers. Come on, Emmy, we don't have much time. I bet she's not even home. Come on! See, she's not home. Let's go. It's okay. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Now, don't have a screaming fit, Mr. Brinkman, but after reviewing the Historical Society's criteria for landmark designation and the specs of Miss Jackson's office, I have come to the conclusion that it does not qualify for landmark status and therefore rule in Miss Jackson's favor. You are free to do anything you desire. One more thing, Miss Jackson. Off the record?
Certainly.
Aubergine is out. Mocha is in.
I'll keep that in mind, Your Honor.
Good call you, Mary Elizabeth. We're going over to Rick's.
He's not home. Now, that's no way to solve anything.
Mom?
No, go back to your room, Kelly. Go.
I saw out the window Mr. Bowman has a gun.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Where's Davis?
Upstairs.
Well, go call 911 right now and keep Davis upstairs and don't look out that window again. Go.
You're trespassing.
Please. For God's sake, put the bat down. Put the gun away.
A big mistake this time, Rico.
No, the only mistake my husband made was telling you the truth.
But not the whole truth, Julie. He left out the part about having 4 11-year-olds over for a pool party.
What are they talking about?
Oh, I guess you forgot to tell the little woman you like doing the breaststroke of baby girls.
What?
He had children to the house, Julie.
I called the police. And unless you want to spend the night in jail, you get out of here now.
You're the one that's gonna go to jail, sicko.
Oh, my God. Julie!
Julie. Julie.
Both of you. Gone before your time. Oh, you'd be proud of your little girl, James. She came home for your funeral. You should have stayed home. In Elston. Well, yes, baby. I'll tell you more about that when I see you in heaven. And this rug. My, oh my, that gold rain and
I remember. It was very special. 3 of us all curled up during that horrible storm.
That wasn't the night I was referring to. How long you been standing there?
Long enough to know that I want to be a fly on the wall when you talk to Daddy in heaven.
It should be nice with 3 windows. Open it up, get some light in here.
Maybe I shouldn't do anything at all. For all intents and purposes, this office could be a museum. I don't want to be disrespectful to Daddy.
Baby, most museums are full of things dead people did. Your daddy is still very much alive. I can see it in the faces of people everywhere I go. And my memories of him are in my heart. Not in some dusty old photographs on the wall.
So what rainy night were you talking about?
You're too young.
Mama?
Well, your father and I didn't move down from Detroit together, you know, and I joined him later.
Keep talking.
I would come down on the weekends, and we were still both young and alive, and well, my first night here, there was a death threat, and your father thought it was best we didn't go home, so we spent the night here. Well, the heat was cut off in the building, and we had to stay warm, and 9 months later, you were born.
Don't tell me that I was conceived on this rug.
Could have been. Either that or the tool shed behind the church.
Oh, Mama! No! B-A-R-N. 9 points. That's pathetic.
Can't do anything if you haven't got the letters.
Did your mother and father ever have sex in a tool shed?
Huh?
Did your mother and father ever have sex?
I heard you the first time. No.
Were they ever adventurous, you know, creative?
In bed?
In bed.
Mom and Daddy had sex 3 times and called it Johnny, Teresa, and Mary Elizabeth. What the hell are you talking about?
You know that rug in my office?
You mean the one with Bill's butt print on it?
Mm-hmm. Talking to Mama? We weren't the first.
Get out of here.
Your turn.
I need nourishment
Will
first.
you give me a soda?
Sure. Well, guess who won the Sucker of the New Millennium Award? Yours truly. It seems that Mr. I'm totally rehabilitated across the street got busted for making a bunch of 11-year-old girls do a little Busby Berkeley number in his pool and has skipped town in the middle of the night.
That certainly would be considered a violation of his probation.
We should have run him out of the neighborhood from the get-go.
It goes against everything the Constitution stands for.
I don't care. He molested a child.
What if he'd been chemically castrated?
I don't care.
That is a form of treatment, you know.
I don't care. He still has hands. We should have run his ass out of town on a rail.
And me, you know better than that.
I'll tell you what I know. I know that you and I and my husband and my kids and everybody I care about and everybody I don't care about are all here by the grace of God. And I think the whole thing is a crapshoot. Fortunately, every once in a while, it is peppered by a spontaneous show of love and joy. Zanku. Z-A-N-G-K-U. The Z is on the triple, and so is the K.
Zanku.
African tribal art. You should know that.
Use it in a sentence.
Thank you for being my friend.
Zoo welcome.
Speak English, Mary Elizabeth. I can't understand a word you're saying.
He goes, yanked grenades at Violet Crumb's house and pulled off her arm. What? Then I heard her screaming and they chopped off her head. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. There's nothing I could do. I thought you'd want to know.
Well, can you take me to her?
Sure. But we gotta hurry. It's getting dark. That's when it gets crazy.
Just take me to her. Come on along, Mary Elizabeth.
You best step back, Miss Jackson. There's no telling what's gonna come out of there.
Yes? Hi, my name is Sarah Jackson. I was wondering, is my daughter Renee here?
Mama?
Renee, are you all right?
She's fine. Please, come inside.
I'm never going inside the house.
It's all right, Mary Elizabeth. Come on in. Hi.
Renee, you're all right.
Everything everyone's been saying about Mrs. Crumb is all wrong.
What about all those people she's killed?
I didn't kill anybody, honey bun. Although there have been occasions when I'd like to.
Let's meet Ollie and me. You're gonna love him. He's real white.
Hi, you want to play with my twins? He's not white, Renee. He's a ghost.
He's an albino.
A rhino?
An albino, Mary Elizabeth. A person who doesn't have pigmentation in their skin.
It's so sensitive. He can't go out into the light.
That's why he plays on the swings at night.
As long as I stay in the dark, nothing can hurt me. Thanks! Oh, well, yes. Careful, Renee, that's bleach. I'm toast if it spills on the carpet.
If it's that strong, how come it's not getting the grass stain off Johnny's ball?
Blood and grass stains are the hardest to get off. At least that's what the bald man with the earring on TV says. Think this is what happened to Ollie?
What?
Bleach.
You're joking. Right.
I guess so, but how did he get that way?
My mama says there's a 1 in a million chance it could happen to anybody. Something to do with genes.
What if it happened to you? You'd be the only white colored person in the world.
What if there's a gene that makes it go the other way? You could be the only colored white person in the world.
Think we'd have the same problems?
Yep. Except you'd have mine and I'd have yours.
We'd probably end up in some stupid carnival sideshow.
No, thank you.
There! I'll never know the difference.
You know, I think it's a good thing I lost the ball, because if I didn't, we would have kept believing those terrible things everyone was saying about Violet. And she's really nice.
So is her son. Did you notice how white his hair was?
That didn't come out of a bottle.
Hey, you want to go visit Ollie tonight after dark and play on the swings?
Sure, why don't you come over to my house for dinner? We can go together.
I can't. My mom's making my favorite casserole.
What kind?
I'm not sure. She uses a box of rice and a can of soup. It's good. Real good.
Hi.
Hi.
How's your arm?
Broken.
Well, I figured it might be hard to cook, stirring and all, so I made you a little something. It's not much. Mushroom soup, box of rice. But it's good. It's real good.
I'm not very hungry.
I just wanted to come by and tell you I'm so sorry about all this.
You didn't do anything.
Well, I'm sorry. You have everything you need?
I lost the baby.
I'm so sorry. Where is,
Rick? I have no idea. He's sick, Mary Elizabeth.
I know.
I never would have left him. You wouldn't leave Collier if he was sick. I promised him I would never, never leave.
Maybe it's time you took care of yourself a little bit. Listen, if you need anything, just anything at all, you just call me, all right? I'm right here.
Mary Elizabeth, thank you for the cream of whatever.
Mushroom. Cream of mushroom.
Oh, Daddy.
I love what you done with the place.
Good. Because I'm finished.
You kidding?
Mm-mm. Come on, take you to lunch. Tell you all about it.
Renee Jackson's office?
No, this is James Jackson's office. I only work here.
I'm here to take up the rugs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've changed my mind. I'm only going to get them cleaned.
Well, you might want to go easy with this part right here in front of the desk, because that seems to get a lot of wear and tear.
Go.